Hello, today I am chatting with the fabulous Cari Moffat, and we are going to just tell the story about how Cari's career got started and then how we ended up working together in the LMT Accelerator program and what happened during that time and what will be the future now after the program. So thanks for joining me, Cari.
Thanks for having me. This is good.
Yeah, I'd love for you to let's just dive in. Like, who are you? How did you get started in the holistic career? If you want to kind of just share that story with us. And then, yeah, like, how did we end up working together? Just if you could share,
Hmm,
whatever you would like to share about your career prior to the program.
Okay. Well, a long, 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 long time ago, I was working in retail and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I had a client come in, or a customer, I guess, who said, well, she was always there in the middle of the day buying clothes. I'm like, how are you doing this? Like, how do you just go shopping in the middle of the day? And she goes, oh, I'm a massage therapist. And I was like, tell me more. And so she told me a little bit of what she did. And I researched it a little bit and I was like, well, I want to be a massage therapist. I want to set my own hours and go shopping in the middle of the day and do whatever I kind of wanted to do. That's about as much as I knew about massage. So I went through the process and I got hired, or not hired, accepted into a college, a private college. And I remember sitting in my first class having a mini panic attack because I actually had never had a massage before in my life. So, anyways, that was the beginning. And I loved school. I loved anatomy for some reason. And I loved the massage part. And then I graduated, I started working in chiropractic clinics. I actually ended up marrying a chiropractor and took my practice to England for a couple of years and then moved back to Canada. And I started my own company. I get bored a lot, and so I have to always be stimulating myself, especially in my career. And that was a big stimulation. So started a company. We got quite large. There was at one time there was about 14 people working under the same roof. And so I was managing that plus doing my own work and actually started hating it more the management part. And then I knew that wasn't where I wanted my career to go. So we completely downsized and I started working for myself again, and I started loving what I was doing once again, and just sharing massage and energy work, I guess, with my clients. So that is the beginnings and kind of where I'm right now.
Yeah, what about I'm curious because I know energy is now a big part of your message and your branding. How did energy fit into all this?
Yeah, so that was thanks to a little 2-year stint in England. And I I grew up in a very strict Christian home, and I remember being almost like, don't ever look at this. And as a little kid, you're like, oh, I wonder what it is. But the New Age movement, I was almost told to not look at, and I don't deem Reiki as New Age actually. But I went to England for a couple of years, and I had itchy legs from my knees down and I didn't know what it was from, but I knew that it wasn't the lack of corticosteroid cream that was causing the itch. And so I was looking for answers, didn't really even know what I was looking for, but I had a massage therapist I was working with at the time. And she said, can I do some Reiki on you? And I was like, hmm, first thought, that's evil. Second thought was, my family's 3,000 miles away. Yeah, for sure. Let's do this. So we did. I felt nothing, but she said to me, when you have those pivotal moments in your life of conversation, this was one of them. She said, What your body is telling me is that you can pick up your roots from Canada and plant them into England, or take yourself back to Canada because you're half here and half there. And that was her reading my body. And that fascinated me because I could tell within that I didn't want to be there. I wanted to go back to Canada. And I've never felt homesick before until those 2 years that really showed me what that was. But I wanted to go back to where my roots were. So that was the very beginning of my energy journey. She taught me Reiki 1 and 2, and then I finished the teaching here in Canada, and I started teaching Reiki as well. And I guess that led to the curiosity of what the body talks. And so I started to have more experiences in my massage practice of hearing what the client's body started to say. And that led me to going to another college for medical intuition to be able to interpret what I was hearing, or what I was sensing from a client's body. So that's the energy journey. And now it gets all combined as so many of our practices do. So, yeah.
That's right. That's right. So, what led you to sign up for the 6-month program to work with me? Like, where were you before the program?
Yeah. Um, I was flailing. That's where I was before. I can picture a person in a body of water, like trying to stay above water, in my career. But COVID did something to a lot of us as professionals. And I think of it as, when we were going through it, nobody's really talking about the trauma of COVID and what it actually did, especially as body workers. Like we were shut down for 2 months. We couldn't even go in our office and help anyone, and someone's dictating to you what you can do and what you can't do. And um, I remember laying on my couch just in the fetal position, really, and waiting for it to all be over. And that is my response to stress. So some people they fight, or they flee and or they freeze. And I'm a freezer. And the freezing didn't stop. And my career just kind of, it was at a standstill. And I knew I wanted to do more, but I couldn't get myself out of it. And I kind of couldn't get myself out of the fetal position. Like I needed help. And I don't even know how I found you, Melinda. Like I'm sure it was social media, but knowing you start to put all your pieces together, and knowing your body and how it interprets messages. When I started seeing some of your stuff, something was going on within me, and it was like, I think I'm supposed to contact her. hmm this is interesting. Like I don't really know you. I'm just kind of viewing your stuff. And then um I remember telling you that I was having a knee issue at the time. And when I sent you a message and said, "Hey, can we have a chat?" And you called even right on time. And after I hung up the phone, my knee felt amazing. And yeah, and that's how that's how energy and body work kind of go hand in hand too. Like my knee represented to me just being stuck. Like it wanted to move forward, but it was stuck on the couch in the fetal position, not literally, but that's how it was representing. So yeah, that's the beginning of our relationship.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I realized, through several conversations with you that, oh my gosh, you have these really big dreams and goals that kind of got put on pause, right? After 2020. And it seemed easy just to kind of let you have the permission in a way to just keep moving forward on the trajectory you were on, before the freeze happened. And just, yeah, I felt so excited to learn about your gifts and just how many incredible talents you have. And so it was easy for me as a coach, when you have a person like you who has just innate gifts and talents and an obvious sort of clear direction of like what you want to do in the world. So it was really enjoyable for me as well. And so why don't we talk about maybe some of the tangible things that we did? Like what did we get done during this program?
Mm, this juicy program. So obviously you asked me what I wanted to do, and that's probably why I was attracted to you too, because I knew I've been a massage therapist for 26 years. I'm slowing down, but I do want to retire eventually, or at least semi-retire, because my body, it's not loving it anymore. But I do have some other things that I want to share with people. Um, so I can't even remember what your question is.
Well, I know one of the first things was getting back to
Oh,
writing the
tangible.
book, right?
Yes. Yes. So I finished my second book. It should be out right away. And when you talk about the great pause and having all these ideas, I wrote my first book and it was launched in November of 2019. And I had this little book tour all planned, and boom, everything's shut down. So it really shut down a lot of my big goals and dreams. And yes, working with you brought them back out. So first was to retire a little bit and then to get this book out. And it was pretty much all written. It just had to get the push to finish. And I remember one week you said, "Do I have to hold you accountable for this? I'm going to ask you every week." And I'm like, "Yes, please, please, please do." And that's what I love about coaching, because somebody is there asking you, "Okay, what did you do this week? Like, how was your week?" I love that. And we don't get that enough in our life. And it's hard to push ourselves to finish things, or to have the courage to do things. So that was one thing we worked on. Oh my gosh, what else? It feels like a lot, but yet it felt so natural.
We
Um,
raised rates, just
raised,
like I do with everybody. So,
yes,
I mean, that's always like a constant fear. I mean, even it never gets easier. Well, I guess it can for some people, but it's like even after 20 something years of experience, there's always a little bit of nervousness, right?
yeah, always, always. I only raised it $10, and I am the highest in my town, and there's 14 therapists in this town. But I had nobody comment on my rates, like nobody. And then I'm like, maybe I should have raised a little higher, probably. But
Right.
yeah, so we did that.
The course, there was the course.
Oh yes. So I started an online course, teaching it, and it actually ended up being a 12-week course. And while I was teaching, I was recording, so now it's going to be going online. So it taught live, now will be online. And that was super fun. I've actually never done such a long course before, or mm, even I don't, yeah, I guess I did do a course online before, but not this long and not this enjoyable. It was good. Um, yeah, what else do we work on? There was
Yeah.
a
Teaching
big,
teaching was like kind of a big thing because you had done some teaching before and you had kind of taken a break a little bit. And so like getting you back into teaching classes and courses and just being available to learn for people to learn from you.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and having this book, and I'm just prepping for the launch of it actually. There's a lot of material in there that I can now teach with. and
Mhm.
I'm happy about that. I actually had a dream about that last night. I was in front of this big stage and like, what is happening?
Cool. I love that dream.
I know, going through the chakras and talking about a little more in-depth themes of them. And yeah, it was okay.
Nice. Nice.
Might be happening.
I know another big like mindset piece was kind of wrapping your mind around the idea of the building and putting it up on the market, right?
Yes. So I bought this building all by myself. It was just a little building. It was 1,400 square feet. And there was a renter on the back half of it. Myself and another therapist worked in the front in 700 square feet. That's where I started. And then in our community, this was 2008, there was a thirst for alternative knowledge and it just grew and grew and grew. And then ended up being a 3,400 square foot building with, I think there's 11 treatment rooms in there. And I kept hearing them, it's time to let me go. And you helped me detach from it and then visualize what I want with it. And just that's I guess the gist of coaching, isn't it? Like just getting really clear on, okay, what do you want? And so this building, it's on the market, which I wasn't even sure I was going to do that. I thought, oh, maybe I'll just look around private sale, and I'm not going to even put a sign on there. And well, I did all that as a realtor and a sign, and now it has somebody looking at it actually in the next few days. So yay, something's happening there. But I loved how you just prompted me to don't remember to visualize. What do you want? What do you want? And I wrote it all out. I would sit there and read it, and I would think before I go to bed, I'd imagine like dropping the keys into their hands and kind of, you've been great. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yay. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So okay, tell us about now like the trajectory of like what we can expect from Carrie Moffat, over the next couple of years if you want to share.
Yeah. So I'm not even sure if I can see a couple of years, but possibly finished with massage or else just with my select few favorite clients, maybe still doing a little tiny bit of body work. I would love to do energy work, and I do it already in person, and I have done some distantly, and then I add a little flair, which is what the Reiki um, practitioner did with me in England. So when I do Reiki, I hear things, and so I speak them and I record them, and a person gets an energy session plus what their body, an interpretation of what their body is actually saying to them. Um, so I want to do more of that. I do see myself speaking and teaching and possibly writing more too. Like I don't think this is the last of the written word for me either. So I I want to do all that. Oh, and I do coaching as well. I'm just starting. I haven't really jumped in with 2 feet, but even our experience together is gave me confidence to know that yeah, I can do this. And if people need my help, I'm here. So yeah, that's what people can expect from me. That's me in a
Nice.
nutshell. Future
And
Carrie.
yeah, if people want to be a part of your work, where do they find you?
Yeah. Website probably the easiest, so carriemoffat.com, or I'm on Instagram and Facebook quite a bit too. So those are my two major platforms. Um, so it's under my name, Carrie Moffat, Carimoffet.
Nice. I do want to ask one more question, just to sort of, hear your take. Do you think that you would have been able to accomplish all of that without the program during
No,
that time frame?
no, and no. I That's a scary thought. I might still be on the couch, you know, and to hold back the gifts that you have within you, like this is why we're here, right? And sometimes we just need that little boost to remind us of why we're here and what we need to do while we're on the planet. And that's scary. I would probably still be flailing. So
Well, just in full transparency, same,
mm,
because I was coached to get back to my work too.
yeah,
And I also felt I was maybe angry and frozen. My response to COVID, but it was kind of hard to get going again. And so, it's I was
yeah,
coached. I've been always working with a coach off and on in my career, and so I was so grateful to also be in motion again, doing what I love and feel like I have kind of my comeback, if you will, after COVID. So it was very meaningful to just kind of pass it on to you
yeah.
and others as well, because it's not, we're not the only ones.
Yeah, it's important. And you're right. There's more who are just sitting back and not stepping into fully who they are. And you can do that with a coach. Like, and it wasn't like high pressure either. It was just having somebody there to talk to about what's happening and where I want to go, made a huge difference. Like yeah,
Mhm.
I am so thankful for you, Melinda. You have no idea.
Well, it was so much fun to work with you, and I just wish all the best for you. And
Well, thank you.
that's all we want to share with YouTube.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing, and we'll be in touch.
You bet. Thank you.
Bye.